morning, everybody. How's everybody doing today? I'm doing pretty good. I'm in the John Deere 8530, and behind me I have our Great Plains drill, and we're headed to the field because even though it is January, we're gonna do some planting. In the drill, I have it filled with rye, so that's a cover crop, and yeah, we're just on the way to the field, slowly making our way out there. Can't go too fast. I'm taking back roads so I don't have to deal with any traffic. So I'll let you know when we get to the field. Look at all the happy cows. It is so warm outside. I am literally just in a sweatshirt and feel totally fine, and the sun is really warm. I think it's supposed to be about 65 degrees today. Perfect planting weather. It feels like springtime. I think the cows are really enjoying it. All right, so I have found my auto steer line, so I plant this rye in a straight line. I have pulled up my, this is like my Google Maps software, so I can see the map like of the field that I'm in. But then we've also, do you remember those little seed sensors we installed? That's what this monitor is for, 2020 Precision Planting Seed Sense, and then all the data from that monitor, it's plugged directly into the iPad, so all that data gets fed into the Field View app. And then we've just got the John Deere monitor here. This is a camera for when we have the soybean planter hooked up. But now that I'm here, I'm just going to lower it down and start unfolding it. Here's what the office view looks like, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing but clear blue skies. Clearly I need to wash the rest of my windshield. But I'm using these two mirrors right up there and there. See the drill behind me, and then also just manually turning around and looking at it. And I can see that all of the little discs, you see those, are in the ground, and this monitor here is telling me that we are actually planting, and this monitor is also telling me that we are actually planting. The different colors represent the different populations. Ideally they should all be the same, but I think because we're planting into frozen ground, that might have something to do with it. No, that's not right. I'm correcting myself as I'm talking. It has nothing to do with frozen ground. I think maybe our sensor placement might be off. Anyways, and then also this green line here is telling me that our auto steer line is working very nicely, keeping us in a straight line so that I don't have to touch the steering wheel at all. Everything is looking good. Right now on this field, we are only planting on the slopes just to try and keep anything from washing. So I pressed that #1 hydraulic, lifted it all the way up, and I'm slowing down. And then this is telling me like, oh my goodness, you stopped planting. And then as soon as I turn the steering wheel, that's my auto steer kicking off. And we're a really long ways from the end of the field. So I'm just going to slowly turn around because we are on ridges. That's kind of a bumpy ride for the drill. So I'm just gonna take a nice slow turnaround. Because the drill is 40 foot wide, I'm a little too wide to be turning around exactly on myself. So I'm going to skip 40 feet and then line myself up with the next pass. As soon as this little red line kicks on to where I want it to be, I'm gonna press that button right there. Still going really slow because the drill is going directly opposite of the ridges now. There we go. And then right now the steering wheel isn't moving, but the tires are aligning themselves where they're supposed to be. Okay, and now I feel like we're getting into this well enough. So I'm going to put the drill down. I just do that by pushing all the way down on this #1 hydraulic. Starts going down, and colors will start showing up here, and we're planting. I would like to note that it is very unusual for us especially to be planting in January, but as Dad and I like to say, it's a test. So we really don't know how exactly this is gonna work, but we'll keep you posted. Now that I'm off the slope, I'm gonna stop planting, and I'm close enough to the edge of the field on this side that I am just going to drive to the end rows and turn around. During harvest time, I got a lot of questions like, why would a field even have end rows? End rows are parts of the field that are planted opposite as the whole rest of the field. So this field has north-south facing rows, and the end rows are all east-west facing on this field. And this is a really good example of why we have end rows, is because instead of turning around on really tall ridges, I've got more of a smooth area to turn around on, because we don't ridge our end rows, or headlands they're also called. Now I'm all turned around and I've set my auto steer line just because it makes it a lot easier on me. And I'm going to keep driving, but all my little discs are up. And so I won't start planting until I actually get to the ridge. It's kind of hard to see in the video, but there's this big long divot along our field that runs like that, which is pretty unusual. All of the fields we farm are very, very flat, or flat with a slight slope to them. This is by far our hilliest field. So I don't think we'll be doing this operation on any of our other fields, except for, I guess on one field we have a draw that runs through it. And so we don't want a lot of our soil washing away. So we're gonna plant some rye in the bottom of that, just to try and hold as much soil as we can on the land. I think that's it. So I've planted 20 acres now. And there are these little markers on the outside of the drill to tell you how full or empty the thing is. However, those are broken. So we're going to check them manually. There's just this nice little step here and a little handle, and that's all they give you. Okay, just going to open this up, maybe. Ugh. All right, so this is a thing that would usually tell you how full it is, but this is not connected, so it's not really doing anything. Okay, let's check the middle one. Still looking pretty good. Dad wants to be sure that I come home with some because he still has some projects to do. All right, the good thing is that they're all looking pretty even. Oh, except this one. All right, so I'm gonna transfer some seed. Just gonna do this. It's a very, very sciencey thing we're doing here, this transfer. Like this, to call this this is the dig and toss method. Very technical. Oh yeah, that's looking good. All right. Back to work I go. I think I'm gonna try to do like 5 to 10 more acres. I want to do the end rows on the north side of this field and then one more spot on the east side. Then I'll call it good for today. All right, so that's flashing red and it's beeping at me, which means it's a good thing, because that means it's doing exactly what it's supposed to. So before we had those little sensors installed, I really wouldn't know if I was running low on seed or not, but it looks like row 4 is running low. So we're gonna go back there and check it out. So far, I've planted 30 acres. And look at that. Time to do another fancy seed transfer. It does look like I'm actually running pretty low. I don't have a bucket with me. And Dad wanted me to bring it home with some. Might just go home. I'll call him and see what he has to say. All right, the decision has been made to go home. So before I fold up, I'm actually just gonna pull forward a little bit so that we are not folding up in the middle of the ridges. So I'm just gonna pull forward far enough so that the drill itself is out of the ridges. All right, we'll call that good. Now what I'm going to do is press all the way up on 1, make sure those are already up. Okay, now I'm going to go number 3. Number 3 starts pulling them in. And it's kind of a tricky art. So that one's gonna go in first. And then the other side comes in, but I kind of have to be quick with the second hydraulic here, because that second hydraulic is going to be what hooks the wings up. And ready. Ooh, come on. I've got to swing it out again. Not good enough. Come on. Oh, I got it. All right, now just hold in this number 2 hydraulic until the whole thing is all the way up in the air. Now that that's ready to go home, now I get ready to go home. Going to fasten my seatbelt. Okay, and then I'm going to put my hazards on, throttle up, and put it into drive. And unfortunately, there is no auto steer for driving home, so I've got to do that manually. Drill is parked for the day. Time to move on to the next job. The corn head is all cleaned up post-harvest. Normally it's snowy and cold right now, so this has already been put away, but it's nice. We had a little bit of extra time. So I'm going to put all the snoots down and then park this over there. All right, well, I put one up to show you guys, but it's pretty simple to snap these down. So all you're gonna do is pull it down and then just make sure this little hook falls behind there. And then once it's latched, you just pull down and then it doesn't move. I don't have to go very far. We're not actually putting this head fully away because we're trading this one in for a different one. So it's not going to be tucked away in a barn or anything. So I'm going to see if the forklift can move it because we're just putting it over there. All right, cast your votes. Do you think this will work? Ta-da! It's working. Side note, you know what really stinks? Like literally hogs. This is working though. Next thing to do is hook up to this trailer. I love this trailer because it's so light that I only have to get about this close and then I can just pick it up and hook it up myself. It's so easy. I loaded up a four-wheeler. I'm bringing this home to the farm. I'm up at our pasture ground. We have solar panels up here for power. And unfortunately, they're kind of dirty, like dusty, and there's bird poop on them. So I brought a ladder and a squeegee, and I'm going to try to clean them off a little better. And hopefully we get, I don't know, more efficient solar energy. You know what I mean? They just haven't been working as well as they should be. If you have any other tips for how to, I don't know, better use solar energy or how to keep these things clean, let me know. I bet you didn't know farmers were window washers too. At least that's what it feels like. I don't know, I feel like when you're a farmer, you have to be able to do literally everything. I think Grant and I have said this before. Jack of all trades, master of none. Oh man. Anyways, I think that's all for today. Thanks for coming along on a daily vlog in the life of, this is now my 3rd year farming. Pretty exciting. If you like my sweatshirt, it says Bummer Dude on it. Because a lot of Bummer Dude things seem to happen to me. Anyways, you can find that in the link in the description. You can also find me on other platforms. I don't always upload everything to YouTube. I have a lot of stuff over on Instagram. And you can find myself and Grant in the description. I've got where else you can find us. Anyways, thanks for following along and we'll see you next time. Bye.